What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another edition of, I guess, my jersey collection, right? Happy New Year 2022 as well. Hope 2022 is a great year for all of you. Hopefully to, uh, you know, be able to achieve my collecting resolution for 2022. And as I said before in the Into Life series, the last video I did for that particular series here on the channel, that I wanted to grow my hockey collection. I wanted to try to focus a little more on trying to grow that aspect, because as you see behind me, I've done okay with football. I've done okay with baseball, basketball. I have a whole room devoted to hockey. I got my Flyers, which is my favorite team, of course, diehard Flyer fan. But I have all the other hockey jerseys basically in a closet. So yeah, and look, I'm happy with what I have. I have a lot of bangers in the collection. There's some real heat in there, but there's plenty of other ones out there that I would love to get. And there's so many other teams and styles and different things that I've kind of been slacking on, for quite a while, including I know, Rez, I know, the Sharks. Which is definitely going to be, one of the orders of business here in 2022, to achieve at least one Sharks jersey before the end of the year. And I do believe I will do that. I do believe that will happen, because they're high on my list for teams to acquire a jersey of. But there's so much out there, and hockey is just one of those real diverse, sports as far as their jerseys or sweaters, if you will. Just so many different styles, so many different, aspects of those jerseys. So much going on those jerseys, with all the crazy fonts and logos and all sorts of stuff. The patches, the anniversaries, the All-Stars, the finals, all that stuff that they put on there. Hockey jerseys have always been just amazing to look at and amazing to have in the collection. So I definitely want to grow that collection, that aspect of the collection, going forward. Not to say that I'm going to, stop looking for football, and that's just never going to happen, or basketball. But hockey is definitely something I want to grow a little more in my own personal collection. And I do want to give a big shout out there to all the great hockey jersey content creators we have here on YouTube. There's so many, just too many to mention, but there's so many great fans of hockey who have just amazing collections, all sorts of stuff. And the other great thing about hockey is it's one of those sports that you can find a lot of blank jerseys for, and then have them customized into a player of choice, whether it's a superstar, whether it's a mucker and grinder, for whatever reason that you have interest in that player. You can get the blank jersey, and then you can have it sent off to someplace and have it custom into a player of choice. And that's one of the cool things about hockey jerseys as well. And one of the cool things when you see these other content creators here on YouTube in their collections, just the diverseness of their collections, the various different, players who they have in their collection. And they're all wonderful to see. I know I find myself watching those videos as well. It's one of the reasons I kind of got re-inspired, to do more with hockey, because, you can't help but be inspired by seeing some of these collections. And then, of course, some of our fellow Jersey heads in Kings of Throwbacks, posting their stuff, and just the pictures and oh my god, the heat that you see in all their collections. And I'm like, I've been kind of I wouldn't say neglecting, but just not keeping up to that aspect of my collection as a whole, as I have been with the other sports. So definitely want to get back into it. So the basic purpose, I should say, for this video is to share with you, the viewer, my entire non-Philadelphia Flyer hockey collection, because I've shown my Flyers collection in the past, and I believe I show just about everything I have. Now, at some point, I might rehash it too, show some of it again. There's still some Flyer jerseys out there I want to get, but I thought for the purpose of this particular video, because I am going to be jumping more into the water, onto the ice, although I can't skate, that's the only thing, but onto the, so maybe holding on to something, but onto the ice, and delving more into hockey, as more of a focus for the collection, going forward. I thought I would share the collection I have to date, including the most recent pickup that I was able to make off of eBay recently, and it's right over here. I will show that last. I will show that list. It's actually a team that I don't own, but now I do. No, not the Sharks. Sorry, Reds. That will come. But this was another one. So I ended 2021 with a pretty good pickup here and acquiring a team that I since hadn't had in the collection until the very end of 2021. So now that we're into 2022, let's get into MightyFan's non-Flyers hockey collection to date as we stand on January 1st, 2022. All right, so we're going to start with a non-NHL, AHL, any of the, this is just like a special, pop culture hockey jersey right here. It is orange and black, so it is a winner. It's not the Flyers, though I did wear it to a Flyers game in the past. So we got the Haddonfield Slashers. This is the Geeky Jerseys 1.0 version of this jersey. This one I love. This is the only Geeky Jerseys jersey that I own. And if you don't know what Geeky Jerseys is, it's a company that specializes in pop culture jerseys, hockey, and also they do some baseball. But hockey is their primary, what they do. I think Kevin Smith may have a hand in this, but at any rate, they do a lot of pop culture, movies and TV shows, and I'm a huge Halloween fan. Of course, I was born in 1978. Halloween's my favorite holiday, so it only makes sense. So we got the Michael Myers right here. Wear this every year on Halloween. I've had this for a few years. Always get a lot of compliments with it. People really like this. It is a really nice jersey. You got the trick or treat going there. On the shoulders, you got Myers 78, of course, for the year right there, and a special year for me too. And then they have the Geeky jerseys right there on the back neck area. Very nice jersey. These jerseys, again, very well put together. You got the drawstring going on there, and that logo on the front is just amazing. I like this one more so than the 2.0 that they did. They just did the 2.0 a few years ago, but this was the original. And I jumped on this when I had the chance years ago when this was available. So there's my Michael Myers, Haddonfield Slashers, Geeky Jerseys, the 1.0 of it from Geeky Jerseys. And I'm just going to hang it over here because why not, So anyhow, here is jersey number 1. But now we're going to move to the NHL because all the rest is NHL. The only AHL jersey that I have in the collection is a Lehigh Valley Phantoms Carter Hart that I got at a Phantoms game years ago. And I also have a blank Phantoms jersey, which at the time was the Philadelphia Phantoms. This is the only, and I also have a Philadelphia Firebirds jersey in there, a McLeish jersey. Those are the only non-NHL jerseys that I have outside of the Haddonfield Slashers here. And those are part of the Flyers collection, so those kind of stay separate. So in the closet here and what I have staring at me right here are the ones that I have that aren't the Flyers, and we're going to get into those right now. So here we go. Now you might excuse me, I'm just going to go back and forth because the closet's over there. Obviously I don't have anything in back of me, so I'm going to be moving back and forth, but we're going to get through this. All right. First one. This is the team I don't like the most, but I had to get this jersey back in the day. I got it from a Modell Sporting Goods. It was on sale. And even though I couldn't really stand this team, I did respect this player. So we got the Jersey Devils right here, New Jersey Devils. Number 30, that's a Martin Brodeur jersey right there. The goalie, one of the great goalies of all time. He was a pain in the rear for us, but, is what it is. Still a great goalie. Reebok, the Vector logo right there on the back. This is a replica, basically. This isn't like, authentic or whatever on ice. But, like I said, I grabbed it from Modell's because it was on sale. And I'm like, you know what? Can't stand the team, but gotta respect the player. And he had a great Hall of Fame career. So, there you go. A Marty jersey right there. New Jersey Devils. Reebok. Kind of early run Reebok, I would say, because it does have the Vector logo on the back instead of the full name. But yeah, just your generic replica, but even replica jerseys for hockey, they always really pop. And some of the ones I'm really a big fan of the old starter ones, because those are the first ones I ever owned, were those old replica starter jerseys. So we're gonna have a few of those to show within this collection. So. Now, at some point with this one, I'm going to have to send this off to get stripped and redone with the correct font, because when I got this many years ago, I didn't know any better. I got it. It doesn't have the correct font to it, but it's still a nice jersey. But at some point, I would like to have it, you know, sent off to some place where they can do the right font for this particular era. But we got the Calgary Flames right here with the alternate captain patch, and that's going to be Theo Fleury is the player. Like I said, I'm gonna have to turn this in because this is like different font for this particular, you know, era of Flames jerseys, which I didn't know at the time. I just wanted a Theo Fleury jersey. So this is a vintage CCM right there. Okay, so the other thing about hockey jerseys, so many different companies have done them over the years, and CCM was one of them, one of the main ones from years ago. This is a center ice collection. But like I said, I'm going to have to turn this in at some point and get the correct font, because the font for this style is really nice. You know, and learning more about it over the years, I definitely want to get the correct font and redo it for Fleury with the right font on there. Still a hot jersey, still really like it, but the accuracy reason, just I want to change that and get it done 100% right. So that's going to be a project down the road. Now, Mitchell and Ness used to have the rights to hockey. They since lost them since Adidas took over. But they did some really nice ones back in the day. And this one was one of the few jerseys that I got from that old eBay seller, Lake Show 2, back in the day. I know a lot of jersey heads know him. Right, used to get a bunch of stuff from him. But this was like when he was liquidating stuff. I didn't get enough of back then when he was liquidating. But I grabbed this one. This is a Bugsy Watson Capitals, that old school Washington Capitals, of course, number 19. You got the stars going down the side. Of course, the Caps wear this as an alternate. They've worn this as an alternate throwback from time to time. They also wear the red one, which I really like. I want to get an Ovi in that someday. But we got Watson 19 on the back. Again, old run Mitchell and Ness. Got the tags on the inside. And I forget if this one has the fight strap. I know sometimes they put the, yeah, it does. Has the fight strap on the inside. And then you have the vintage hockey logo with Mitchell and Ness on the bottom hem. Very nice jersey. Gotta love the old school, you know, Caps jerseys. Still want to get an Ovechkin in that, but at some point, okay, so this next one is my all-time favorite Capitals jersey. We got the Eagle Cap jersey right here. This is from the 90s. Really like this. This is a starter replica. I'm sorry, this is a CCM. Very nice. Peter Bondra is the player. All-time great Capital. There you go on the back, Bondra 12. You got the the Capitol building alternate logo on the shoulders, which they wore as the crest for a bit on their black alt, which also became their regular home jersey for a time, or road. I forget which one it was, but big eagle, soaring eagle, coming down. Very, very nice. This is actually pressed on. It's not stitched. The eagle is stitched. Everything else is stitched. The only thing not stitched is the stripes on the sleeves and on the bottom of the jersey. And you see that design going on the back too. Beautiful, beautiful jersey. Always liked the blue version of this jersey. And it just kind of screams just that 90s Capitals teams, you know, with Bondra and company. Went to a finals, lost to the Red Wings. But I you know, that's kind of when I fell in love with this jersey, this particular style, was watching them have, you know, that run that they made that year to the finals. And even though it was a loss to the Red Wings, it's still, I mean, this jersey is just incredible. I do wish they would wear it again as an alternate, and I will get to the alternate that they wore for a brief time, you know, last year. But Peter Bondra right there, the original Screaming Eagle. Then we got this one. Had to get this. This one just kept calling my name at that pro image last year. We got the Alex Ovechkin retro reverse. Again, the Screaming Eagle, which is basically what based off of that jersey I just showed. Of course, they wore the white jersey as well with that logo back then. But this is just too nice. It is a Fanatics branded one. So yeah, it is a replica, but still, this just, the color, the red, I mean, everything just works on this jersey. Captain C, of course. You have the Capitol building again on the shoulders. Has the logo there. Ovechkin 8 on the back. Really, really nice jersey. Of course, the 8's on the sleeves as well. You got the pattern going on the sleeve as well with the stripes. This one definitely works. Really like this jersey. This one just was sitting there, and I just kept looking. I kept going back to it in the store. I got a bit of a, just one of those things I had to have. So there it is, Ovechkin. I do want to get more OV jerseys in the collection. As I said in that in the life vid that I did, it's just one of those players I want to get a few more of his jerseys. But this is the only one I have so far. There will be more. All right. So, this is another project jersey for me. I want to turn this into a Cam Neely. So I believe that was his last season. Boston Bruins, this is the white. At the time, it would have been the home jersey. It has the All-Star patch on the front. And like I said, you'll find a lot of hockey jerseys blank, and you can kind of put whatever player you want to put on there if you want to do so. I know a lot of people just keep them blank, but I love the name and numbers on them. So this one at some point will be turned into a Cam Neely. And yeah, Bruins, old jersey from the 90s. You got the bear, head logo on the shoulders. And again, that All-Star patch is just so nice there on the front. This is just screaming to get turned into a player. And I'm gonna make it a Cam, because like I said, I believe that was his last season in the league, at least with the Bruins. And so I want to get that jersey done up at some point down the road. And I do have his Mitchell and Ness jersey. So this is one that Mitchell and Ness made years ago. Bruins, alternate captain, Cam Neely, 8 on the back. Again, you see that crazy looking bear head right there. You got the 8s on the sleeves, the stripes going on the bottom. That classic Bruins jersey right there. Again, this was a Mitchell and Ness made years ago. Picked this up from the flagship store during a sale years back. So the other reason why I want to make the blank Bruins I have into a Cam Neely is because I basically already have the same jersey as a Ray Bourque. So I don't need 2 Ray Bourques in the same exact jersey. So this is the, at the time would have been the home. Again, you got that bear head going on the shoulders with the 77. Bourque 77 on the back. This is a pro player jersey right there. Actually got the home and away set from the same seller at the time. Captain C on the front. This one and the next one I'm going to show were the first jerseys I got after I moved into this house. So, a little trivia there. So yeah, it was a package deal. It was a combo wombo deal, home and away set. So from the same seller, I did get the other Bourque right here. At the time would have been the road jersey. Bourque 77 on the back. Again, the bear head on the shoulders. 77s on the sleeves. Really nice right there. Captain C. This one is pro player as well. The captain, first number retired with the Bruins, and he won his only cup, of course, with the Avalanche. I want to get his Avalanche jersey at some point, but I got his Bruins one's pretty much locked down. Because not only do I have the home and away regular Bruin jerseys from the time, I got the alternate. I got the Pooh Bear. So there's the Pooh Bear alternate, the gold, just that gold jersey, big bear head on the front. That's why it's called the Pooh Bear. Captaincy. You got the crazy design going. This is when the NHL was getting creative with their alternate jerseys. You got the Bruins going across on the shoulder areas, just below the shoulders, right there. 77s down the on the stripe on the sleeves. That crazy bear kind of design or whatever they were doing, going down to the bottom too. And on the back, this one is a pro player as well. There you go. There it is, the Pooh Bear, the honey pot. Call it whatever you want, but that was this look for the Bruins that they did for their crazy alternate design. But it is. I mean, you can't miss this one. You see it's coming. You definitely can't miss it. All right. Then we're going to another original 6 team. We got the Detroit Red Wings. Gordie Howe. This is a Mitchell & Ness that they made years ago. Just that 9 on the back, plain and classic. The sleeves, you got the 9. The winged wheel logo is still one of the best. Right there it is. You got chain stitching going on in that. Beautiful jersey. They really did a good job with this one. This one came out some years ago. Crazy nice. Heavy. This is a very heavy jersey, so you gotta really wait till it's like deep into the winter to wear this one. So yeah, Gordie Howe, Detroit. And I got the replica starter, Stevie Y, right here. At the time would have been the home jersey. Now, of course, would be considered the road. Yzerman. To me, I always love starter jerseys. I just always did. They just always feel good. They're just the quality is there, even for replica jerseys. Now, that up so you can see the whole jersey. I need to get better hangers for some of these, but it is what it is. We'll get there. Starter with the Western Conference logo on the bottom hem. I still have to get a Fedorov Red Wings. Now we got my favorite Western Conference team, the Avalanche, right here. Patrick Waugh, Stanley Cup Finals 2001. Mitchell & Ness version. It's the first and only Avalanche jersey that Mitchell & Ness ever did. And they might ever do. I don't know if they're going to get hockey rights again. Waugh 33 on the back. The only thing they kind of screwed up, they made the logo a little too small. The Bigfoot logo's there, a little too small, but is what it is. It's still a nice jersey. And I saw this. See, I didn't see this at first. It's the second time when I saw this hat online. Then I noticed. So, you know me, right? Mr. Combo Wombo, so I have to share this, okay? So this hat was not designed for this jersey. This hat was part of a set. Every hat looked the same. But I noticed, it goes with the Avalanche. See, Liz is being sneaky. Colorado Rockies. It's an Avalanche hook. They didn't mean to do it. Every hat's the same in this style, but the colors go with the Avalanche, so it's an Avalanche hook. I never did get the pro image or the Hat Club, you know, Rockies, Avalanche, Hook. Oh, but I got one now. Puts that stuff together. Come on. Anyhow, we're moving on. This is the one that I talked about in my In the Life series. This was my first non-Flyers jersey I ever owned. I still have it. The starter replica, Joe Sakic, Colorado Avalanche. I need more Avalanche jerseys. These from the 90s are still, outside of my Flyers, of course, these are still some of my favorite hockey jerseys. Just the overall design, the font, everything. Props. The road and home. And look at that. For the captaincy there, like the arrow look, that's just crazy. Sakic, 19 on the back, and it is a starter replica. And there's your specs right there, but you notice the foot's a little bigger than in the Mitchell and Ness version. It is what it is. You know, Mitchell and Ness, yeah, you know, they've been known to make a few mistakes every now and then. But this jersey, still love it, man. Still have it. This, again, was my first non-Flyers jersey. My first hockey jersey ever was a John LeClair. White Flyers jersey. Home, at the time, Flyers jersey. And this was probably like my second or third or whatever. And just loved it. Still do. It's still one of my favorites in the collection. All right. So, this is one of those collections within the collection. Within the collection. Okay, so one of my goals some years ago was to get all of the various different jerseys that the Ducks or Mighty Ducks had with their old and classic, you know, crest on the front. I call it the Jason Duck crest on the front. And I was able to, I'm one away. And if I want to be real nitpicky about it, I still have to get it. It's the current Adidas away, alternate rather, orange. They wore it in the Reebok days. It's very similar to the Reebok version, but there's some slight differences. And because I know about these differences, I still have to get it at some point, the current Adidas. But I have all but that one, and we're going to go through it. So this is the original. This is another starter replica. Paul Kariya. Okay. So this was their original jersey right here from this, one of their originals, the home and away. So this at the time would have been the away jersey, because the color jerseys were the away jerseys back then. This is the starter replica, that iconic jersey right there, and you'll always know that these are their original look from their inception and some years later, because it doesn't have anything on the shoulders. The shoulders are blank. And I'll get to that. You're going to see the whole history right here, whether you want to or not. Here we are. So there's the road. And here's the home at the time. Finish flash, Teemu Selanne. Number 8. The pattern, of course, going on the sleeves. There's the Jason Duck on the front. Right there for the crest. You got Selanne 8 on the back. This one is I want to say this is a CC. Yes, a CCM. Vintage CCM right there. Teemu Selanne. So again, this would have been the home jersey. You'll note nothing on the shoulders. So it's one of the originals. And albeit it was custom done, I do have the original Wild Wing. This is the original one from back in the day. Again, we got the finish flash, Teemu Selanne, right there. Look at that font. Oh my! Same thing on the sleeves. Pattern. Everything is, besides the name and numbers and the logos on the shoulders, is supplemented onto the material. Nothing is stitched. It's not supposed to be. That big logo right there, the full duck. Beautiful. This is still one of the most sought after jerseys by collectors because it's just hard to get. This was a customed into a Solani. I got it secondhand, but still just beautiful. It is a CCM. You got the Duck logo there too for the on the bottom hem. But there it is in all its glory. The original 1.0 Wild Wing. And then, you know, back in the 90s, the Ducks did have some alternates as well. And here's a Paul Kariya. This is, I want to say, yeah, okay, so this is a starter. Really nice jersey. Lots going on this one. Big Jason Duck logo right there on the front for the crest. You got the captaincy. A couple teams tried this. I know the Sharks did this. The Ducks, they kind of went to this kind of streamlined look. Korea 9 on the back. And you got your Western Conference and starter logos on the bottom hem. You got the mesh for the sides. The right there, little ventilation system. And that's one of the things also. This is one of the things that they experimented with for that time. Now you see it all the time, right, in baseball and such, but this was one of the first times in hockey they tried to do a little ventilation system to their sleeves and such. So we got the Paul Kariya in would have been the road at the time, and I got the would have been the home at the time in Teemu Selanne. Again, the alternate A. This one is a Nike. So you got the Nike swoosh on the bottom of the sleeve, 8. Selanne 8 on the back. With the Nike on the bottom hem. Swooped in, the swooped in neck area. Now this does not have the vent going. So it's ventless. But this is a Nike version. And I mean, that logo, that's still to this day just is nuts. Great, great logo. Then we have your second generation of your home jersey of the time. Again, we have a Kariya. And now you have the alternate patch on the shoulders. That's why it's the second gen. This would be your only difference between the originals and the second gens, because it has the shoulder patches. Again, that's why I say you can always tell which is the original look and which is the one that came later. It's a CCM, Kariya 9. This was actually a marketplace grab. I grabbed this off Facebook Marketplace when I was in search of all those different various, you know, Ducks jerseys. Little NHL puck there on the bottom hem. CCM. CCM did a great job with their jerseys too. Pro Player. And then we have, the time would have been the road, second gen Ducks. Mighty Ducks, of course, of the time. So it's from the time they went to the Cup Finals, lost to the Devils. But there you have the shoulder patch, NHL 2000 logo right there as well. Big and bold, Jason Duck on the front. This is Stu Grimson, the Grim Reaper, right there, number 32. And this one is a Pro Player. This is a Pro Player. So I got an Enforcer jersey. Right? The Grim Reaper right there. And of course there was a big outcry because they went away from that look for years, and there was an outcry to bring it back. And for the fans, they did. And they didn't bring the original colors back, but this is the Reebok days, so they brought it back in an orange alternate jersey. This is the only jersey to date I ever got from Ben H on eBay. Ben H is a great, great seller. He'll hook you up with a discount if you email him and whatnot. This is the only one I got from him, though, to date. I will be getting more. He's known in the community as a really good seller, good guy, you know, and he will work with you on prices. If you email him, he'll give you a little discount. I didn't. I just grabbed this off of his eBay store, but in the future, I'll probably hit him up. Hey, 10%. every cent counts, right? You do have the current logo of the time on the shoulders. It's a Ryan Getzlaf. This is a Reebok. Right there. Very nice jersey right there. You got the full color going on the bottom hem. Drawstrings that aren't really, they're just kind of there on the front. NHL shield, and you have the Anaheim going down the side of the collar. Now, I believe in the Adidas version, there's a few differences. They don't have the Anaheim going here. I think it's in the back neck collar, inside collar. But there's a few other little differences with it, and I do have to still get the Adidas orange alternate with the Jason Duck crust on the front. But that will be at some point, and then I will complete the Jason Duck, logo. But it's very close to this. Just subtle differences. So that's why I'm saying I'll get that. But this is as complete as it's going to be until then. So of course, some years later, a few years ago, the Ducks celebrated their 25th Annie, and they did bring back the old look somewhat. It is black, but it does have some of that eggplant purple in there. It's got the teal, it's got the gray. So they brought back the colors. They brought the colors back, the drawstring. They brought the colors back for a bit with their 25th anniversary jersey, which is very cool. The old design came back too, which is nice. A lot of nice touches. And on the inside, they did have the 25. And they had their current logo, of course, on the shoulders. This was a Fanatics pickup. When it first came out, I had to grab it. It's an Adidas. Again, Ryan Getzlaf is your player. There it is. In a more current kind of throwback to the old Ducks jerseys, Mighty Ducks jerseys. And then, of course, the reverse retro, I had to have it because it's the Wild Wing 2.0 that came out last season. I grabbed it right away off of Fanatics. Here it is again, and like the original, it's supplemented on. The full graphic is supplemented on. This is, again, Adidas. This is the reverse retro. Got the inside right there. 95 would be your year when the original Wild Wing came out. So they brought it back in the reverse retro. Beautiful. They just hit this one on the head. Getzlaf 15, right down to the original font. Very cool. And you do have the old crest on the shoulders. Got the NHL logo right there. And again, there's your full duck coming out of the ice. Ventilation system as well, going around the inside armpit areas. Very, very nice. Great job by them last season for their reverse retro jersey. So if you ever wanted to see as close to you can get to the history of the Jason Duck logo, you just saw it with the Ducks collection, Mighty Ducks and Ducks collection. So now we got the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is just a crazy font. This is like their original look right here. This is a Chris Gratton jersey. Never really materialized when he went to the Flyers, but years later, but he put up some big, numbers with the Lightning early in his days. Beautiful jersey. You got the alternate captain patch right there. You got the Lightning in the state of Florida. Their logo on the shoulders, which of course now you have the full Lightning bolt on the front of their jerseys alone. But back then, of course, they had this. Now they kind of went with this with their, reverse retro last season. And you have Grattan 77. Look at that font. That's nuts. Right there, this is another starter replica from back in the day. Beautiful jersey. This was an eBay find for me some years ago. And there's still some other Lightning jerseys I would like to get. I want to get a Steven Stamkos at some point. Martin St. Louis at some point. Some of the other players, but I do have this one. This is a sought-after jersey by a lot of collectors. This is the Storm alternate jersey by the Lightning. This was done custom. I got this from a seller on eBay from Canada. It was custom done. Beautiful, beautiful, though. This is just nuts. You got so much going on. You have the memorial right there, alternate A. This is a Dino Ciccarelli, number 22. You got the bolts going down the sleeve. A lot of people look for this one. This is this is one I'm glad to have, because and when you do find it anymore, they just want crazy numbers for it because it's such a rare jersey. Ciccarelli 22. This is a CCM with the Lightning logo on the bottom hem. Look at that font. That's just nuts. Everything going on in this jersey. So you have the Lightning going down the sleeves. You have like the raindrops or whatever going down, and it's just a lot going on in this one. The gray for the shoulder and arm area, that blue, and then you have the various different design and patterns going down the bottom. Like I said, hockey jerseys, even today, I mean, you will have a lot of like minor league teams and so on that just do crazy looking jerseys, like one-offs or maybe an alternate they were that year. Just so many great ones out there. Too many to own, to be honest, but all right, so the Storm just passed, and now we're going to go to the Blues. So we got a vintage jersey right here, St. Louis Blues. I always like the Blues jerseys, and this one's just nuts with the Blues going over the font, the logo. This is a look that they had for a time. Number 5 there. This is a Rob Ramage, but it is a vintage jersey. And at the time, they did have the name and numbers pressed onto the jersey and the logo. So it's accurate to the time period. This one is a CCM, a vintage CCM. I got many years ago off eBay. You got your inside tagging. Really like that. This is what drew me to the jersey, is just this. Blues with the logo on the front. You got the old, color going there. And on the sleeves as well. Stripes. Very nice jersey. Rob Ramage. Mitchell Ness made a few of his jerseys, but this one is not a Mitchell Ness. This is a vintage CCM. This one, this is quite the storyteller here. This is a jersey that the Blues were supposed to wear in the era with the Wild Wing, with the Storm, with the Burger King, with the Pooh Bear, all those crazy alternates that teams are wearing. And the Blues had one that they were supposed to wear too, but the coach at the time, former Flyers coach Mike Keenan, said, yeah, we're not wearing this before the game, and so they didn't. So they didn't exactly follow the rules, but this would have been what they were going to wear. This is the Trumpeter. So the Trumpeter was the name of the jersey that they were supposed to wear as that crazy alternate. Lots going on in this jersey. There is a ton going on here. A lot of musical, the notes, the trumpets. As if you notice that, if you know, the Blues at the time had the trumpet as their shoulder patches, so they put that on the They put that on the front of the jersey, big and bold. Lots going on. It's a design. I do kind of wish they wore it. I really do. Because I believe Gretzky was there at that time when he was there for half a year. And, I mean, to see him in this one would have been interesting. But Brett Hull, which is the player that this jersey is of, was a blue. And I had a chance at either Gretzky or Hull at the time, and I got Hull. Because I figured he was more known as a blue than Gretzky. Gretzky was only there half a year. So why not get a guy who was more known as being a St. Louis Blue? So you have the regular logo there on the shoulder area. You got the number with the cords going down and the notes on the sleeves. You know, it's a unique look, which a lot of those alternate jerseys of the time were. And you got Hull in that crazy note font, 16. Very, very colorful. And this is a recreation of what that jersey would have been. I just thought it would be cool to have, so I grabbed it when I had a shot at it. And it's a starter. Right there. Brett Hull, the trumpeter. What would have been. But never was, because Mike Keenan said no. Mike Keenan put his foot down. And he did that a lot. But he put his foot down with this jersey. No, we're not wearing that. Now, the crazy thing about it was they didn't wear that jersey because they considered that jersey too gaudy. But this was the jersey they were wearing at the time. Right? Just one of those ironic twists on that one. This is a gaudy jersey. So this is the Mitchell & Ness Wayne Gretzky Blues that they put out some years ago. He was brought to St. Louis for half a season from the Kings. I believe they lost to the Red Wings in the playoffs that year. But, of course, was captain. St. Louis on the front of their big logo right there. I mean, you know, there is a lot going on in this jersey. Maybe not as much as the trumpeter. But at the time, they had some interesting looking jerseys back then. You notice the horn right there for the shoulder patches. Of course, the 99s on the sleeves. You got the striping. Gretzky 99. Look at that font. That's something, man. So Mitchell & Ness vintage hockey logo. The great one right there. Short-lived as a blue, but wore an interesting jersey. This is definitely a head turner, which the Blues actually wore as an alternate a few years ago. So throw it back, and they did something similar with their reverse retro. They wore a red version of that. So, and then this would be at the time. So that would have been the road jersey at the time. This is the home for the time, and this is a starter replica. Again, a great one right there, Wayne Gretzky. Captain C. Everything going on in that jersey right there. As gaudy as these may have been, I still like them. These are still some of my favorites for the Blues, and obviously the fans of the Blues like them because they brought these back a few times as a throwback and a reverse retro, so there you go. Gretzky starter. It's not double tagged. I know some of those Gretzky jerseys had the double tagging on the bottom, but this is just the single tagging. That's how Wayne wore his jerseys with the double tagging, because he would tuck it in, and half the back of the jersey be tucked in, and the other half would be out when you see the logo. And this is Brett Hull, the more regular jersey of the time. This again would have been the home jersey of the time. Starter replica. Really like starter, man. These are still some of my favorites. Hull 16. Got your trumpet logo, of course, on the shoulders, I should say. Starter, and again, you got the bottom hem right there. Another Mitchell & Ness. Now we go to the Kings, the Burger King, basically. Uh, uh, Titled jersey, Rob Blake, number 4. The story behind the captaincy is this is a little different than the regular font that they use because he was named captain after Gretzky left. After Gretzky went to the Blues, and they kind of threw a C on there. So Mitchell and Ness caught that. You know, for all the things they get wrong, you know, they caught that different font C for Blake when he became captain of the Kings. So they recreated it correctly there. And there you see the big king head, the Burger King. Got the regular Kings logo, of course, going on the shoulders. Lots going on in this jersey. Again, Blake 4 on the back. Hold it up so you can see it in all of its glory. Right there. Rob Blake, who was an Avalanche as well. Another guy I want to get the Avalanche jersey of. Rob Blake. And then I have a customized CCM Burger King. Gretzky, you notice the difference in the captaincy. So they got it right with that Rob Blake. Because this is what the captaincy should have been. And so Mitchell and Ness caught that with the Blake. That's why they made it a little different font. Again, the Burger King. Gretzky. Kings logos, 99s. All there, CCM. Kings logo, CCM. So Mitchell and Ness kind of recreated that by putting the Kings logo on the back too. Good eye by them. And I figure just so I can show you, so you notice the difference in the font for the C. There's the Blake, here's the Gretzky. You notice the little difference. And again, they slapped that on once Gretzky got traded to the Blues. They made Blake the captain, and they just threw it on there real quick, and then they changed it to the regular font after. But a little thing that Mitchell and Ness caught there. See, they always screw up. Then I have a vintage Gretzky Kings right here. This is your more regular, you know, what we know the Kings jerseys of the time to be. There you go. The NHL 75th Annie on the front. Captaincy. And the Kings celebrate their 25th Annie as well, right there. Their 25th anniversary. NHL did the 75th anniversary. And you got the 99s on the sleeves. Gretzky 99 on the back. This is a CCM. There you go. I know Slim really likes this 75th, so there you go, Slim. There it is on a great one right there. And then we got your Mitchell and Ness version. The Kings, Gretzky, Stanley Cup. Side tagging. And you got your 99s on the sleeves. You got the Gretzky 99 on the back. Yeah, these are heavy jerseys. And for this one, you do have the dual tagging. So that's how Gretzky wore his jerseys because, again, he tucked in one side. And so they wanted to keep the logo out, so they double tagged the bottom of his jerseys, which Mitchell and Ness caught for this particular one that they did. So that's why they double tagged theirs on the bottom. And we have the Mitchell and Ness Oilers Gretzky. Nine's going on. So that's tagging on the inside. And this one I don't believe is double tag. Nope, no double tagging for this guy. Just single tag. Gretzky 99. Always love, you know, these Oiler jerseys, you can never go wrong, you know. I still have to get a McDavid, but and then this one is the same one, only this is a this was actually I believe the first Gretzky I ever owned. This is a CCM version, I guess, like a retro, you know, version of it, of his Oilers jersey. Same deal, only the CCM version. I got the Mitchell and Ness one years later, because I wanted their version. I still want the white version for the Gretzky that Mitchell and Ness did, but that one's harder to find than obviously the you know, the blue version. But I do own this one, and this is a vintage. This is a real vintage piece right here. This is a Oilers, and you can tell the vintage always has a smaller crest on the front. So this is would have been the home at the time Gretzky Oilers. CCM. So this is a vintage Oilers Gretzky in the collection. 99s, of course, on the sleeves. Just that, you know, those old Oilers jerseys just always pop, particularly the white ones. I love the white ones. This next one, I know Islander fans aren't going to be happy with it, but we got the Islanders, just that word font Islanders on the front, 91 John Tavares. But I wanted to get one of these for whatever reason. I always thought this was just a unique look. You got the logo on the shoulders, 91 again. You got the stripes, drawstring. This is a Reebok replica. Just, you know, that Islanders on the front. You know, the one jersey I really want to get is the Thrashers word mark, where they did kind of a similar deal. They had the Thrashers on the front, and then they had the logo, big and like the big logo going down the shoulders. Ooh, I need one of those at some point, you know. But we got the John Tavares Islanders. Crazy alternate they wore years ago. Yes, I know, a Flyers fan with Penguin jerseys, but you know, the definitely respected him growing up. Mario Lemieux, this is a starter replica of, at the time, would have been their home jersey. Lemieux 66. It's not Crosby, you have to give me that. We got Lemieux. Shout out to Super Mario. I got this one when he came back, like the last time when he came back from Modell's back in the day. Notice it doesn't have the C because I think Yager was the captain at the time when he came back for that last go with the Penguins. Lemieux 66. This is a Coho replica. You see what I mean with the hockey jersey? Even the replicas are just crazy nice. And it does have their, at the time, because they brought this logo back at the time, right? Which is their current regular now. You see it all the time. But this time they brought it back, but they put their, you know, older logo as the shoulders. Now, because they wore this one, I believe this was their road jersey, and that one I just showed, I believe they still were wearing as the home jersey. So this was almost like an alternate one they wore on the road. Then they switched, then they got the white. They did this in white afterwards. Got the gin and juice, basically, right here. The Snoop Dogg made famous. The wordmark Pittsburgh, another starter replica right here of Super Mario. Captain C. The logo on the shoulders. And they are bringing this back as an alternate. They also wore something similar as their reverse retro last year, which I do still want to get, just because I always like this style. So I may have to get the current alt when it becomes more available. It's basically the same. Although I think they put their current logo on the shoulders. But you got the word mark, Pittsburgh. Lemieux right there, starter replica. And there's the bottom hem. And then this is a vintage. This next one's a vintage hockey. And Lemieux. I got years ago from eBay. Athletic Knit made this one. Mesh. Smaller crest on the front, because at the time that's how they made their, replica jerseys. Not with the big crest that you'll have now. So Mitchell & Ness made this one some years ago. I didn't get their version. I have this one though, Stanley Cup Finals, 92. Captain C. You do have the Badger Bob Memorial on there on the one side, and you have the Penguins 25th on the other. So they did have the 75th anniversary, but they did not put the 75th that year. They had the Cup Finals on top because the letters were on the other side, so they didn't have any space for the 75th for the NHL. So, if I remember that correctly, Lemieux 66 on the back. Again, you can just tell this thing is vintage. Really, really nice piece. You can see the mesh on there. So one of my older Super Mario jerseys in the collection. Glad I own it because, these vintage pieces get harder to get after a while. And then we have the vintage hockey CCM line. Paul Coffey, Pittsburgh Penguins, the alternate A. Spent a little time with the Flyers as well. Of course, he was known as one of the members of those great Oilers teams. And he also won cups with various different teams too afterwards, including the Penguins. I got my Winnipeg Jets. You saw a lot of his Ducks and Mighty Ducks jerseys earlier. So here's his Winnipeg Jets Teemu Selanne jersey right there. This one is again, CCM vintage line. Alternate A. You got the Stanley Cup anniversary logo. 13's on the sleeves. You got the stripes. Lots of stuff going on in this one. So, yep. Finish flash. Teemu Selanne. We have another Mitchell & Ness hockey, line of hockey right here. We got another Patrick Waugh, this time his Canadiens, 93 jersey, which is the last time to date a Canadian team won the Cup. To date was 1993. The Montreal Canadiens. Patrick Waugh, big part of that team. There's the logo. This is from the Stanley Cup logo right there from 93. Mitchell & Ness tagging. That classic Habs jersey right there. Patrick Waugh. And as you saw, I also have his Mitchell & Ness Avalanche jersey. And we keep the Mitchell & Ness theme going with my buddy Luca's team, the Blackhawks. Shout out to Luca. Here's the Chicago Blackhawks Cup Finals, which they lost to Pittsburgh in 92. That chain-stitched, of course, Tomahawks logo on the shoulders, that classic look. Blackhawks logo right there, big and bold on the front. Classic jersey, of course. Number 27, JR, Jeremy Roenick. They made him and Chelios, and I got his jersey instead of Chelios because I also have another Roenick jersey, which I'll be showing a little later. I still have to get his Flyers jersey, but I have another one in the collection, which you will be seeing very soon. Another Mitchell & Ness classic Blackhawks jersey right here. Stan Mikita. Again, you got the Tomahawk logo a little further down the sleeve at that time. 21. Of course, rest in peace to the great Stan Mikita. 21 on the back. Just classic and simple. Again, one of the original 6 teams. Almost hung it on the fan. That would have been interesting. Drawstring there on the front. Big logo on the front as well. Chicago Blackhawks. And here's my other JR jersey, the Kachina. Time Phoenix Coyotes, now Arizona Coyotes. The original Kachina jersey right here, which I'm glad they brought back in both home and away versions. I do want to get the white version of this. I also want to get the peyote, the green alternate, and at some point the reverse retro, purple version of the peyote. But JR right here, this is a starter replica that I picked up many years ago at Value City, when Value City was blowing out starter. This was the only hockey jersey I got back then, but I think I made it count. Look at that logo. Oh, that is just, I'm so glad they brought it back. And it's just not the Coyotes without this. I mean, you need this. Even if it's a regular, if it's an alternate, they just need to keep this. Keep this. Please, Coyotes. Keep this around. All right, only a few more. Guess I had more than I thought. Another classic one, the Goat Head, Buffalo Sabres. I certainly remember this jersey. The Flyers and the Sabres did a lot of battles over those years in the playoffs. And this guy, always respected him. The Dominator, of course, Dominic Hasek. And this is that classic Dominic Hasek jersey that I remember. This and the white version, but certainly the black. The black, I mean, that just pops so much. Look at that logo in the front. Crazy. Starter replica. Hasek 39 on the back. You got the B with the saber sword through it on the shoulders. I'm sorry, this is a CCM version. I've seen other starters. That's why I have starter on the brain for this. But this one I got a few years ago off of eBay. Super stoked when I got it. It's just one of those jerseys that, you know, if you like hockey jerseys at all, you got to have a Goat Head in the collection at some point. You know, this is too nice. And I do want to get the white version, and I got to get the red alternate with the butter knives, they call it. Oh, I need that one. And it has to be Hasek. If I'm going to get that, it's got to be the Dominator. All right. Things are starting to fall all over the place here. All right, so I pulled out the rest of my hockey jerseys that were in the closet. Oh my. Let me just rest these over here, and we will get to them over as I get to them. Vintage Sabres right here. They brought back, which I'm glad. I always like this one too. The Goat Head is still my favorite. That one, you know, that's the one I remember the most growing up with. So, but this is the classic Alexander Mogilny Sabres. This one is a classic vintage CCM. right there. Milgilny, 89. You got the shoulders as well, same as on the front. And yes, trivia, the Flyers' last Stanley Cup championship back in 1970, way back in 75, was against Buffalo, when Buffalo was wearing uniforms somewhat similar to this. It's been a while, Flyers, just saying. I'd like to see one in my lifetime. That's all I'm hoping for, man. Just give me one. And then we have the Russian Rocket right here, Pavel Bure, Vancouver Canucks jersey. So this is a 93, 94, I believe. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. But same style that they wore when they went to the Cup Finals against the Rangers in 94 and lost. You got the Canuck Place logo on the one side. And yeah, there you go. Pavel's number 10 going around here. I want to say that this one is yes, it's a CCM. Again, vintage CCM. Russian Rocket. Oh boy, talk about great goal scorers back in the day. Yeah, he was pretty good. So the skate logo on the front, big and bold, which the Canucks actually brought back, I believe, to celebrate their, what was it, their 25th Annie, and they brought back the dark version of that one, which is very cool. I want to get that someday. So yeah, Pavel Bure. I have something on my mind, I just can't think of it. But anyhow, the Colorado Rockies. So before the Avalanche went there, they had a team back in the day called the Rockies, and then they moved to New Jersey, and they became a pain in the ass. But the Devils. But this is the Rockies jersey right here. This is a vintage Mitchell & Ness hockey jersey, and I had to get this one. A, it was super cheap. B, it has my name on the back. Beck. That's my last name. 5. My goodness. Vintage Rockies jersey. I think now I remember what I was trying to remember. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. If I didn't show this on the Solani jersey, if I didn't show that Goals for Kids logo, which for some reason I thought was on the Pavel Bure, but it's on the Solani. So now you saw it if I didn't show it before. And if I showed it before, you saw it again. This is another, what I heard about this jersey is this was done for like an event. So this was not wildly made. Because the version of this that they made was the Tiger Williams Canucks, which I would still like to have. But this was like this was, again, the V logo on the front. And it's Hanlon, number 1, goalie back then. And I believe, if I heard the story correct, they made this for like some sort of event. It was not a jersey that they made for wild distribution, such as like the Tiger Williams. So this is a unique piece right here. And I got this from the Mitchell & Ness flagship. They were just getting rid of a lot of their old stuff that they had in the vault for a while, and it was just a crazy sale. It was a Father's Day deal. If you were there, you were there. If you know, you know, kind of thing. And I grabbed this one, and I grabbed the Beck Rockies at the time, and quite a few jerseys, because they were blowing out old stuff, you know. Again, if it's one of those, if you were there kind of things. And then finally I have the Atlanta Thrashers. This is a blank Reebok. I'm still debating whether I should get a player put on this one or just keep this as is. I got this one, I think, from like, goodness, where did I get that? Like Ross or something like that years ago. Atlanta down the front. Logo. Nice jersey. I really, I do like this one, although the alternate from the time is the one I really want, with the word mark Thrashers. It's a maroon. And it's got basically the bird head just coming down the shoulders. But this is this is certainly a nice, Vector logo Reebok jersey for the Atlanta Thrashers. I might send this off and get, customed into Kovalchuk or one of those guys, just because, I love the name and numbers on the back, so that may have to happen at some point. I don't know when, but Atlanta Thrashers. And now we get to the jersey that I just acquired just before the end of 2021, and I'm showing it to you on the first day of 2022. Finally have a jersey of this team. I didn't have one all those years. Now I do. We got the Florida Panthers, the original look right there. At least, their older look, which they did their reverse retro off of last season. And this is a Russian Rocket right here, Pavel Bure, alternate A. You got the NHL 2000 as well on the other side. This one is a pro player. That was customed into Bure, as the seller had stated, to the team specifications of the time period. So you have Bure 10 on the back. You also have the 10 on the sleeves and both sides, of course. You also have that logo on the shoulders. The palm tree, the sun, palm tree, and stick. Just a nice logo. Would love to see that on the front of a jersey, like as the crest. Sometimes like an alternate or something. But there is the Jumping Panther. Beautiful logo. Just so detailed. And again, this is the first time I'm actually seeing a Panther jersey like up close. I've never seen one. They really didn't sell them in stores here in this area. Even back in the day, I can't remember seeing Panther jerseys that much. But, so, seeing one of these up close, yeah, it's definitely nice. I gotta grab a few other Panther jerseys down the road. You got everything going on in the stripes down the bottom. Again, you got that pro player on the inside as well. Beautiful jersey. That red is just crazy. That red is red. So, and look at that logo right there. Detailed logo. They got like the Penn State logo going now. They need to bring this one back. Fierce Panther right there. Beautiful. Really nice jersey. So there's my most recent addition. A pro player, Pavel Bure, Florida Panthers. There you got the specs right there. Nice. Wanted a Russian Rocket Panthers for some time. Because I had his Vancouver, so I always wanted the Panthers, so finally got one. Took a while. I know, Rez, I got a Bure Panthers before I got a Sharks. I know, but I will get a Sharks. Don't you worry. Oh my goodness, over an hour here showing these hockey jerseys. I forgot how many I already had. I have quite a few, which I'm very happy with. Like I said, it's a humble collection. I got a lot of heaters in it. Added another one and this Bure to it. Hope you all enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun going down memory lane showing these to you. I am going to continue to add. The hockey collection, as many as you saw, is still less than like baseball and football and basketball. So it's still one I want to continue to progress with. So I'm definitely looking for more jerseys, including Sharks. And other teams too, the Wild, some of these other teams that I don't have, I'd like to add to get some other, some of those classic looks that I remember growing up and some other ones current time that I would love to get too. Anyhow, that is going to do it for me. Over an hour showing hockey. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope the hockey heads out there enjoyed this too. Keep doing what all you do in your wonderful, content in your channels too. To all my Jersey heads as well. Happy New Year to everyone, 2022. Let's make it a great year. As always, what do you gotta do? You gotta leave those likes. You gotta hit that subscribe button if you already haven't done so, and make sure to hit the bell icon so you get notified to future content from yours truly. All right, that's gonna do it for now. I gotta towel down again, so I'm gonna even in the winter I need to towel down, but I need to. These lights get hot. So anyhow, I'm gonna go. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.